Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nur Izzatina Jua Amran. Have you ever wondered why this hand gesture could imply different meanings in different countries? While this is usually considered as a symbol of saying okay in most countries, including Malaysia and the United States, this symbol or this hand gesture could also indicate money in Japan. However, in Brazil, this hand gesture is considered as rude and one should never use this when they are in the country. Globalization and the advance of technology has made the world become smaller, not in the sense that everyone is becoming identical, but because more people from culturally different backgrounds are interacting with one another. This indicates that intercultural communication are becoming more familiar and inevitable in daily life. So what does intercultural communication actually mean? This term was first used by Edward T. Hall, an American anthropologist and cross-cultural researcher in 1959, and is simply defined as interpersonal communication between members of different cultures. Intercultural communication involves the sharing of information across different cultures and social groups, including individuals with different religious, social, ethnic, and educational backgrounds. Before understanding intercultural communication as a whole, it is better to know what culture is. According to Trenholm and Jensen, culture is a set of shared values and beliefs, norms and customs, rules and codes that socially defines a group of people, binds them together, and gives a sense of commonality. In other words, culture is the ways of thinking, acting, and material objects that together form people's way of life. One way to easily understand this is by using the iceberg model proposed by Edward T. Hall. There are visible parts and invisible parts in cultures, and most of these elements involved in intercultural communication come from these invisible parts, including the beliefs and values. So basically, there are two types of intercultural communication, which are verbal communication and nonverbal communication. Verbal communication is spoken or written language used to communicate messages, whereas nonverbal communication is gestures that give out messages, including facial expressions, hands and body movements, eye contact, use of objects, and clothing. So why intercultural communication is important? First of all, intercultural communication is crucial for anyone interacting or working with people from other cultures to avoid misunderstandings or even offense. People interpret messages based on their culture, so what you mean might not be what other person understands. Similarly, effective intercultural communication is an essential skill for anyone working across different countries or regions in order to establish a harmonious relationships and to avoid conflict. It is essential to accurately and appropriately transfer information across countries and cultures. So what you can do to be a great intercultural communicator? Some of the ways are: you have to be culturally sensitive and respect others' cultures and people. Try to gain more knowledge on the culture that you have to adapt. Think of what the other person will interpret before you say something. Be aware of nonverbal cues you are giving, and be open-minded and tolerant. You should never view your culture as superior, and you should never use the standards of your culture to evaluate other cultures. To simply conclude, intercultural communication is more than just a simple process. It starts with self-awareness that entails accepting the cultural differences and adapting to them to show solidarity. Be understanding, accepting, celebrate the differences, and the communication would be a lot more easier.